It was a really busy week with E3 right around the corner, but first, we got some drama going on between PUBG and Fortnite. A lawsuit filed by PUBG against Epic Games in South Korea has begun moving forward. PUBG Corporation is claiming that Epic Games' Fortnite is infringing on their copyrights and basically stole their game idea with Fortnite's Battle Royale mode. Epic hasn't made any public comments on this yet, but let me say that it's my opinion this lawsuit has a snowball's chance in hell of being won by PUBG. Sure, there are a few surface similarities between PUBG and Fortnite's Battle Royale mode. The party bus, some weapons, and the general concept of the shrinking playing field. But the building mechanics, the aesthetics, traps, launch pads, and a lot of other items are all Fortnite. Battle Royale is also just one of 2 modes in Fortnite and isn't the entire game. And if that's not enough for you, this is hugely common in games for a mode, which is what Battle Royale is, to be picked up and given a twist by other developers. If not, you could argue that PUBG copied H1Z1 to begin with, and that PUBG should add Activision to their lawsuit for their upcoming Battle Royale mode. If you were to follow PUBG's line of thinking, you could also argue that id Software has the right to sue every shooter developer of the past 20 years for having a deathmatch mode post-Doom's launch. The only way that PUBG has a chance is if they can prove that Epic stole PUBG's source code and somehow implemented it into Fortnite. This is highly unlikely, but I suppose theoretically possible if it actually happened, considering PUBG is using Epic's Unreal Engine, and both are owned at least partially by Chinese media giant Tencent. Again though, the odds of that are astronomical. It all just feels like PUBG is being difficult because they're no longer the gaming flavor of the month. Fortnite is far more popular at this point and eating away at PUBG's PC base, similar to what PUBG did to H1Z1. While all this was happening, the pre-E3 reveals have begun, with it getting harder and harder to generate buzz for games during the actual trade show. Many companies have taken to releasing trailers or teasing reveals well before the actual show. In that vein, here are some of the biggest reveals from last week. The first was Bethesda teased a brand new Fallout game titled Fallout 76. As usual, the teaser trailer is, we believe, full of little nuggets that might become clear as time goes on. For example, we see the date as 2102, supposedly marking when this game takes place. Also, the song played during the teaser is John Denver's Country Roads, which mentions West Virginia. Could that be the new location? It's possible, especially since Fallout 3 mentions Vault 76 specifically as a control vault that wouldn't be subjected to experimentation and was situated closer to Washington, D.C. West Virginia is about 300 miles from D.C. Also, is it a proper Fallout game? Or maybe an MMO game similar to Elder Scrolls Online? Hopefully these questions and more will be answered on June 10th during Bethesda's E3 presser. Our next 2 games got a whole lot more than teasers though. The first was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. We have confirmed that it is not part of the mainline series of Pokemon games, but a reimagining of the original Pokemon Red and Blue, with Pikachu and Eevee serving as your starter Pokemon depending on what game you buy. Nintendo has also confirmed the game will only feature the first generation of Pokemon, plus their Alolan forms, like Icy Vulpix or Executors with palm tree necks. Trading between both versions of the game has also been confirmed, but far more interesting might be that you can also send Pokemon from Pokemon Go into the game. They might be limited though to what is currently known as the Go Park. Also, you don't fight wild Pokemon here, instead catching them like you would in Go, just throwing Pokeballs. There's even a special Pokeball controller coming out with the game so you can really get into your Pokemon catch. There is proper trainer versus trainer battling, however. For the first time ever, there's also co-op in a Pokemon game, allowing 2 players to team up for battles and catching Pokemon. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee will release on November 16th of this year. Finally, we conclude with the return of the Blue Bomber. Capcom has released a new Mega Man 11 trailer that highlights 2 of the 8 bosses in Fuse Man and Block Man. I'm particularly excited for this one. We also saw a new combat system in action called the Double Gear system. One gear allows Mega Man to move faster, giving the effect of slowing down time, and the other allows him to charge the Mega Buster 1 extra level. Both gears can activate when Mega Man is at critical health. Also, if you pay careful attention to the end of the trailer, you can see what all 8 Robot Masters look like due to the game's box art. Mega Man 11 is slated for an October 2nd release. That's it for this week's episode of First Place News. Be sure to stay tuned for a special episode later in this week where we will speculate on what else we might see at E3, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe.